Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, come on.
I know Missy said she's not going to make it.
Did you just now start streaming it live?
No, it's been streaming live since 5:30.
Okay, I was looking for the link to post it on Facebook.
You should put it in the chat. Except oh, there it is. Yeah. Do you see it in the chat?
I see nothing in chat. There it is.
How's that?
No, I just clicked on it on accident.
So we're just waiting for Mindy?
Yes. Well, I think that we have a quorum still, so we can go ahead and call to order at 5:49. And does anyone have anything they want to revise or prioritize on the agenda? If not, can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Make a motion to approve the agenda as is.
I'll second that.
Okay. What are those fancy words that you say? Oh no, we moved in second. All right. We'll do a roll call vote. Motion on the table is to approve the agenda as written. Jennifer.
Approve.
Paige.
Approve.
Cheryl.
Approve.
Okay. And Casey.
Approve.
And
Mindy,
then-
do you want to vote to approve the agenda?
Yeah, I approve.
Okay. And then I just noticed that the principal contract and the executive session got left off of that. So for the non-teacher members of us, could you all do a special meeting next Tuesday for that item?
What? Did we need another executive session?
Yeah, because we didn't vote on it last time. And when we had the last one, I was going to talk to Deanne and then bring it back.
So we have to go back into executive session to finalize that and then come out?
Yes.
Okay. You said next Tuesday?
Yes. So that would be the 18th.
I have a soccer game for my son at 5 o'clock. That's usually about an hour and a half to 2 hours long.
Okay.
What day are we talking?
Next Tuesday.
I'm free as a bird because I don't have to work next week. Knock on wood.
I could do Wednesday.
I can do Wednesday. Deanne, can you do Wednesday?
I need to look at my calendar. At 5:45.
Yeah, if that time works for everyone.
Yeah, I have to be somewhere at 7, but we can
Okay.
do.
So
Does that
Cheryl,
work, Cheryl and Casey?
Just one sec. Next Wednesday, you said?
Yeah. So 5:19.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine for me.
Okay.
So are we calling that a special meeting then? Or is it going to be a regular? Because we have to start from public and then go into executive, right?
Yeah, but it's a special meeting because it's not our normally like once a month. It's an extra meeting, but you can still go into executive session in a special meeting.
But we only have to have the agenda out 3 days before is what I was.
Correct. Oh, yes, correct. All right, on to approving the April 6th meeting minutes.
So real quick, Vanessa,
Oh, sorry.
did you approve the agenda? I didn't get a yes or a no from you.
Oh, I forgot about myself. Yes.
Okay.
The motion passes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, now on to approving the April 6th meeting minutes.
And I saw I misspelled Casey's name. I looked at it twice before I submitted it, and then just sitting here just now, I realized I got the R and the Y.
Has everyone had a chance to look at them? Or do you want a couple minutes?
I'm just looking now.
Okay.
The only thing I saw when I was looking at it was like in some places it says TAs, like there's several word TAs in there, and sometimes it's capital T, capital A, capital lowercase s, and then other times it's capital T, lowercase a, lowercase s. And these are all just ding dong grammatical mistakes, but that's what Paige looks for.
Darn that autocorrect. I tried to catch them. Do you know how many there were?
I know I saw 2, but what I can do is I can go through and find them and then send them to you separately or individually or whatever. Ah, sorry. If you want
I
me to.
found 2 just now. One in the ESSER 2 grant and one in the purchase of MacBooks. So if you find any others, then those 2.
Okay.
Did anyone else have any edits? If not, does anyone want to make a motion on the minutes?
I make a motion to approve the minutes as amended.
A second.
All right. Roll call vote to approve the minutes as amended. Jennifer,
Yes.
Casey,
Yes.
Mindy,
Yes.
Paige,
Yes.
and Cheryl.
Yes.
And I am also a yes. So the motion passes. Public input. Does anyone have any public input? No public input? All right. PTO update. I was not at the last meeting. Mindy, do you have any update from the last one?
Um, 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 um. I was trying to find my notes that I took. All right, so we reported that 16 Northern Lights coupon books have been sold as of date, and they were trying to get to 20 for the special perks. Amy sent home last year's square one, and Vanessa was going to send information to families about this year's square one, which she has because today is the final day to do that. Box tops and Coke rewards, the last that they're going to receive or pick up any of those will be on May 14th. The Iditarod prizes and the finishers books and coupons and stuff would be going home to students. Purchases were being made for administrative assistants day. They are taking on the blue ribbon shirts, selling the extra ones at $5 a piece. Panda Express will be April 19th for a fundraiser.
May 19th.
Thank you, May 19th, yes. Beth Sherwood is chairing the Blue Ribbon Committee, and we're looking at the fall for 2021 to do that big whoop-de-doo. And
Mindy, totally not important question, but does that Panda Express for both of them or just the one in Eagle River?
I think we did a nationwide one. So that
Okay, good. So we can
the
send
link
it to
out on
anybody we
Facebook
know.
and- Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
yes. And then they were very secretive when they talked about staff appreciation, so I don't have a lot of information there, but it went very well. We felt very much loved. And they are working on retirement and going away presents for Janet and Robin and Molly. And they're waiting. They advertised for the PTO officer positions that are available. And if we have people that are willing to step into that now, we'll elect them. And if not, we'll most likely wait until the fall to do those elections, is what we decided.
And I think Tanya said no one has turned anything in as of yesterday.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yes, it does. All right, any questions? All right, on to, whoop.
I told Tanya, but if Beth is chairing that blue ribbon thing, I have a credit for custom ink, and I have those late pin, the lapel pins, or for lack of a better word, backpack pins, hat pins, whatever. If they want to get that for swag, I have a credit with them. So, but I told Tanya already, so hopefully she'll pass that to Beth. But just in case she doesn't, you know it now.
Any other questions? Okay, on to principal's report.
We cannot hear you, Jen. You are silent.
I have an update on enrollment and academics in addition to what's already on my report. I pulled the online re-enrollment report this afternoon, and we, because I did send out the announcement that online re-enrollment was open last week, Friday, in the newsletter, and we have a grand total of 37 students who have already re-enrolled for the fall. And so far, first grade is winning. They've got 11 students re-enrolling for second grade. And then we have 5 kindies re-enrolling for first grade, 5 second graders re-enrolling for third, 6 for fourth. Let's see, 1, 2, 4 fourth graders for fifth grade, and 6 fifth graders for sixth grade. And we have 2 board members have already re-enrolled their students for next year.
That's me. Whoop whoop.
Other than that, I did also put on there that I have submitted all of the paperwork for our insurance quote, but that has not come back yet. And then an update on our staffing. I think that everybody has seen that we had our kindergarten teacher resign, and we were able, the selection committee was able to meet and interview some pretty talented candidates for kindergarten, and we had a hard time debating on the merits of each of those candidates, but we did select someone, and the summary of hire was approved by the district. So we have a new kindergarten teacher for next year, and that is Heather Caldwell. And so we have 2 teaching positions still open, our specials art teacher and our specials technology teacher. We have filled our second grade TA position for the rest of the year. Heather is subbing for us in that. And we have our 502 has been approved for that one. So it's been posted, and we have a couple of applicants who have already applied for that job. So we hope to hire for our second grade TA before the end of the school year is out. And I just received a notice of resignation for third grade TA. And so I will be putting in a job posting for a third grade TA position. So if anyone knows anyone who they feel like would be a good addition to our program, please let them know.
Are we able to, like with the ones that have applied for the second grade one, are we able to, if we do interviews with those, if there's more than 2 and we find 2 that we like, can we pull 2 from that, or can we just pick 1 from that and then have to tell them to apply for the third one?
They would have to apply for the third grade TA position, but we wouldn't have to interview them again. We can count that interview as good. And that's it for my principal's report.
Did you want to do an update on summer school here, or do it under the ESSER grant?
So I can do it under the ESSER grant update.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Deanne? No?
I don't think so, but my screen got closed that had my notes on it. So I'm trying to open it back up real quick.
Okay, I'll wait.
Do we have any applicants for the art or the tech positions yet?
We have several applicants for the art position, and some for the technology position, but I had already reached out to everyone. No new people since we had interviewed for that one and offered the job during staffing. So I did get an email from a former teacher who saw the position, someone who taught at Family Partnership. So I emailed her back this morning to let her know a little bit more about what the position looks like, and I haven't heard back. But she is a certified art teacher, elementary school, and when she taught at Family Partnership, she did really well with kiddos. So I think she would be a good fit, and I've encouraged her to get her application in.
Are the items under facilities going to come under the lease renewal, or are those separate? I just didn't understand what they were.
We can talk about those under the lease renewal. We asked for that with our renewal for this year.
What does it entail to be audited for the state assessment monitoring?
So we have to submit some paperwork to the district, because there were some other schools in the district that got the fine opportunity to prove that we actually did things the way that the state expects to do that. So it's for last year. And so they're auditing our paperwork for peaks. And Mindy and I have to get our information into the database for that. And then also the ELL access assessment.
So peaks didn't happen last year, right? Because of COVID?
It did not happen, but there were still expectations that things were going to happen. And so we have to prove
That you
that,
were ready.
that we were ready. Yeah. So it's like our schedule, projected schedule, the proctor trainings and the test security agreements, all of those sorts of things that we would normally have to prove that we also knew what accommodations kiddos needed if they had IEPs, 504s, things like that.
Fun. All right. Any more questions for Deanne? All right. Moving on. Special Standards Committee is tabled right now. Hiring committee update. Deanne just went over that in her report. Did anyone have anything else they needed to add here? No? Good. Okay. 7th and 8th grade expansion committee update. Let's see. 2 Thursdays ago, we had a presentation from the principal in the Chugach School District on what they use for standards-based grading, to see how we kind of want to move forward with that for middle school classes. But we just listened to her. We haven't discussed it yet in the committee. And then Monday, we had our first school board meeting, and that was our non-action item. So we had our 3 people give testimony. So a parent on the committee, and a 5th grade student. And then when they first started that, the superintendent came over to Deanne to let her know that she and the administration are in support of the expansion. So their recommendation is a yes to the school board. And then next Monday will be our action item on there. And then I think the science, between the last meeting and this meeting, the science books we were thinking about using have come in for review. So I think they're with Mindy right now, and we're going to do a pass the science book to look at them. And I think that the social studies that we were looking at, which is core knowledge, which is what we use now, just released for purchase. It's like their US history, which they do for 7th grade, but you can use them interchangeably. So we could use for 8th grade. They just actually released that for purchase. And I think that is it. Did I miss anything?
So if next Monday is the action item for the school board, is that something that when we've gone to other school board meetings and they have school action items, they have like 30 families they're talking about that, even if there's another hot button item? Is that something that we want to put out to our families, that this is where we're at? If you're in favor of this, please come to the school board meeting or sign up to talk, to give that support?
We do want public input, but I don't think we want to overwhelm them with it. And they only have limited seating in there, so we definitely wouldn't want to fill the room with like 30 families, but we can definitely reach out to people to put, I don't know, 3 to 6 in support together.
Because I think it might be good to even just encourage families to send emails, not necessarily support. So
That's
maybe
true.
just doing a summary letter to all of the families at Eagle Academy saying, this is where we're at. Because I'm guessing many families are only focused on what their little scope is right now with all
Yeah.
of the great chaos. So giving them that heads up to be able to say, well, if you'd like to call in or show up and support, it's not necessary, but please send an email of your support.
It's a good idea. Oh, and then a couple of the questions that we got from two of the, because we got our meeting the same night that they swore in the new school board members. So two of the new board members had, one of them didn't know who we were. And then another one was asking, is it true you only have 11 students in 6th grade? So I think Deanne was going to put together some numbers of how many people replied to our survey and how many people we have that have filled out our letters of intent to return for 6th grade, showing that we would have a full class, not a half a class. So.
Well, and on the flip side of that, the superintendent piped in pretty quickly after that.
Yes.
When you said that, oh, you only have 11 6th grade students. And she said, well, this is unusual
This
year.
is not a normal year.
You know, and then the guy that's always in support of our school.
Dave Donnelly.
Totally piped in with, Saxon and Spalding, and why are we not doing this in all schools? And he said that multiple times throughout the meeting, even on other topics. So that was nice.
Yes, and so our new school board member that represents, I think, the Eagle River area on the board is, what's his name? He's been on the board before. Why
Higgins?
can't I? Yes,
Pat Higgins.
Pat Higgins. And he's replacing Dina Mitchell. So we do have quite a bit of school board member support, I believe. The one major question that is probably going to be our biggest stumbling block is the impact that our 7th and 8th grade expansion might have on the district's budget overall.
That was a question that they had, though, and the superintendent even made it sound like it wouldn't have a big impact on them.
Right, 26 students is not huge. And family was trying to increase by 500 students, and I believe that Frontier was looking at increasing by about another 150 students. So,
So would that impact come from taking students from other school, like the neighborhood school programs? Is that what they're looking at?
Yeah,
correct.
But when the superintendent answered that, she answered all of the questions. So Deanne and I didn't even have to speak, and all of them were turning the answer around so that it didn't reflect badly on us.
Right.
You said that, it could be that students are coming in from Anchorage, so their home school is in Anchorage. So it could be that you're taking a few kids from, multiple middle schools. So there is basically no budget impact per school.
Right. So the kiddos coming in the 7th and 8th grade could be coming from all over the district, and if the impact is spread upon 1 or 2 students from other schools, it wouldn't be huge. They would just kind of absorb that in those buildings. It's not like we're going to take all 26 kids from Mirror Lake or all 26 kids from Greening. There could also be kiddos coming back from statewide homeschool programs like IDEA and Raven and things like that. And then also, not all of our students end up going to Greening and Mirror Lake. Some of them end up going to like Stellar or Highland Academy, things like that, or into homeschool programs. So she sort of minimized the impact that would have on our middle schools in the Eagle River area.
Do any of the military zoned areas, do they go to Clark at all, or do they all come out here for middle school?
Well, half goes greening, the other half on the Elmendorf side. What's Begich? Isn't that a middle school?
Yeah, Begich is
Yeah.
in Anchorage.
So that's who's zoned. If you are the line that goes down the middle, the railroad tracks, if you're on one side, you're Begich, other side, you're greening, basically. Because that's where it used to be Fort Richardson was greening and Elmendorf. So it's still the same setup.
All right. Any more questions on that?
Oh, can I just ask for clarification? Do you know if Pat Higgin lives in Chugach Eagle River area?
No idea.
No. I just wondered if he was from this area to have that vested interest or not necessarily so.
Not a clue. All right, on to election committee update. I pressed the finalize button today. It's a little nerve-wracking. And thankfully that system, you can just copy an election. So I could just copy all the work that Jennifer and Mindy did before and just update the seats and like the dates and that stuff. And it was pretty easy to not have to start it all from scratch. And then all the parent names were still in there. So I just had to go through and compare the list and delete the old ones, add the new ones. So that should be auto emailing at midnight tonight. So it's set to run from tomorrow through next Tuesday.
And Missy's not here, but we held the staff elections at our last staff meeting, and TA, yours truly was elected. I ran unopposed, so I'll be here for another 2 years. Woo!
So Vanessa, were there more than one applicant per position?
Oh, I was going to say that. No. You all, wait, okay. So you reapplied for your seat, Paige reapplied for her seat, and Paula Iajak applied for the community member seat.
And Cheryl, we get to switch binders because apparently.
Well, you can really just switch like the cover sheet.
I was gonna say, do you want to just trade that front page?
Yeah, we'll just trade the front page.
Okay.
You know, I'm like, I've been in seat whatever I was in. Hold on, let me pull my binder out. I've been in seat F for however long, and somehow that got jacked up this last time around. So whatever. You just wanted to be in seat F, and I get it. That's fine.
She wanted to be the advertising one that matched her skill set.
Yeah. Well, I could certainly hand over the Facebook page if you'd like. I don't think that's attached to seat F, but
All right. Any questions on that? Okay, moving on to old business. The lease renewal. I think I sent you all a copy of what I sent Sean. He responded to my email, but I'm not really sure what he was saying or not saying. Hold on, I'm opening it. He said, yes, the lease extension is okay, but I was trying to get some cost on tenant improvements that you wanted. Those were things you would normally do on the rent schedule we have. So he's getting painting bids, and then he said, I normally do a 5-year extension or maybe 3-year. If you could do that, it would be easier to include these items. We're still working on the expansion ideas, and that would have to be amended if we went that way in the future. So I had talked to him on the phone before, and he was fine with the 1 year and a longer one if we get the expansion approved. So I'm not sure what what he was saying with that one, but if we like the lease amendment, we can go ahead and vote on it. And if he signs it, then we're ready to sign it and be done with it. And if he pushes back, then we can bring it back at a special meeting.
And in that lease agreement, we did talk about the requesting that he replace the tiling in the foyer area because it was all cracked and damaged. And he got a quote back from that, and I believe that it was basically $2,500 to replace the flooring in that area. And then to paint the common areas, he had 2 contractors come out and he's waiting for them to get him quotes back on the expenses for that. But I believe that that won't even touch the 1% increase, barely touch the 1% increase in our lease agreement.
So then the lease is it's amendment 9 to the lease and a 1-year extension of the lease. So it would go from July 2021 through June 2022. So the summer months, June and July, would be $24,913. And the other 10 months would be $28,876.14 because those ones include janitorial. And then the modifications for redoing the flooring and the paint.
So would those just be added on to the total and broken up over the 12 months evenly?
I believe we expected him to absorb that cost as the landlord because it is his building.
Okay, so that would not be something that would be added on top theoretically. But
No,
he
I mean,
would raise the price by that like 1%.
right. Like we asked him to replace the floors in all of the student and staff restrooms last year at his expense through our, and with the renewal of our lease. So.
And is that what was it? Walk the Mat? Was that the company that would be replacing the vinyl flooring in the?
It's whoever he's going to contract with. And right now it's Cozy Interiors. They did the restroom floors. So he's asked them to come and do the quote for the front area.
Oh, you mean the walk-off mat is like, she means the material is what it is.
Whatever it said on the principal's report under facilities. That was the part I didn't understand what that meant.
So if you've walked into the building, you've seen we have all those mats that cover the floor. What we're going to do is have that whole front foyer area in a mat material like that. So we don't have to have kind of a patchwork of mats in there. And they're the high traffic area, industrial type mats that they have at like Alieska in their lobby area when people are coming in with their snow boots and all of those sorts of things.
So it will be a mat of itself, not a mat on top of a floor.
Correct. Yeah.
Does anyone have any more questions? And if not, does anyone want to make a motion?
I'm assuming that we're not going to repaint the murals, that we're just talking about the other areas in the hallways, or are we planning to repaint the murals? No? Okay.
Just the white hallways or cream hallway, but where the plain paint is.
Okay, I make a motion to approve the amendment to the lease.
I'll second that.
All right, roll call vote. The motion on the table is to approve the amendment to the lease. Jennifer,
Yes.
Paige,
Yes.
Cheryl,
Yes.
Casey,
Yes.
and Mindy.
Yes.
And I am also a yes. So the motion passes. And then next item is the ESSER 2 grant.
So I believe that the district school board finally approved the district's budget for the ESSER 2 grant, and that has gone up to the state. The district is waiting for final approval for that. So they did preemptively create account keys for that so we can use those, start allocating those funds, but they have not been actually put into our budget just yet. So we anticipate as soon as the state gives their approval for that, then they'll start to fund our budget for the next school year to actually use that, which is really critical because that's how we're paying for summer school. And I'm not really worried about it because that's how the district plans to pay for their summer school. So I'm pretty sure that that will go through without any hitches. So other than that, I do have a brief update on summer school. We have sent out invitations to kiddos that the teachers felt like could really benefit from summer school. And those were our neediest students as far as academic performance goes based on the winter and the spring MAP and FastBridge screenings. We've got the majority of our students have responded. I believe we have, we thought we were going to have upwards of 17 students in the 5th and 6th grade cohort group, but we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those students actually decline those. So the student teacher ratio is going to look a little bit nicer for Mindy since she's actually the summer school teacher for that group. And then we'll have anywhere between 8 and 10 students in our 1st and 2nd grade group and our 3rd and 4th grade group individually. So the goal is for us to have about a 1 to 5 pupil teacher ratio to make that time extremely beneficial to kiddos. It didn't make sense for us to have 1 to 15 ratio and expect a whole lot of progress in that short of a time. So we have a teacher and a TA in every one of the 3 cohorts.
Can I get the teacher and TAs? Do you already have those chosen?
I do. So for 1st and 2nd grade, it's going to be Jennifer Frazier. And then Barb Patterson is going to be the TA. For 3rd and 4th grade, Janet Copping is the teacher. And I think that we're going to commandeer a TA from our 5th and 6th grade group because originally with 17 kids, I was going to have 2 TAs in there, but we're only going to have 1 TA in there now. And that'll be either Stacy Keller or Marie Pelton. And then the 5th, 6th grade teacher is Mindy. And then for the week that Mindy is going to be in Disney World, Stacy Monker is going to sub for her. And then it'll either be Stacy Keller or Marie Pelton, the TA. So between the Janet and Mindy and I will decide which TA is going to work with which cohort. I'm pretty sure I know what Mindy's preference is, but we'll still have a conversation.
And do subs work for summer school the same way they work for regular school, that you just reach out to a sub list in case somebody got sick or something?
No, it doesn't work that way at all. If someone's not there, they won't be there because all of this is through addenda. And so I have to go through and actually process addendas, calculate people's salaries and then their benefits in each of the categories from life insurance, medical insurance, workman comp, unemployment, social security, Medicare, TERS, and PERS. So I won't be able to just randomly put someone in there.
So if one of the class cohorts, whatever, end up with somebody bringing COVID and then that contact, would that mean it would just shut it all down, or would they go virtual?
Yeah, we're still kind of working through that detail. I don't know what the district's plan is. We are required to have Nurse Jan on site. So in case there are any medical or COVID related questions. So I don't know what the protocol will be. I'm going to guess what we would do is kind of switch that to be remote learning. And, ideally we could have a teacher and a TA work with their small cohort at a time via Zoom to have some one-on-one tutoring time. So since it's about 3 hours of instruction a day, that would work out to about a half an hour per student. We're just going to cross our fingers that we're not going to have any
Well, we've only had
positive cases.
2 this whole year, right?
Well, 2 that have resulted in us having to quarantine. Yeah. And actually, I believe that all of our, so we will be following the same type of protocols. Students will be distanced in the classrooms. We'll try to keep our bubbles pretty safe. And all of our teachers, and I believe TAs have been vaccinated. So if those people come into close contact, then the protocol right now is that they don't actually even have to quarantine.
Okay.
Anything else on that item? All right, moving on to the professional development days.
We have September 3rd, which is a Friday. And then on the flip side of that, that Monday is Labor Day. Yep. September 24th is a Friday, and then April 15th is a Friday. And the flip side of that, I believe, is that would be Good Friday. The teachers and I met at a staff meeting, and the request was to use September 3rd as a science curriculum review and alignment day. And then they'd like to use the September 24th and the April 15th to be a data analysis day. So when we get our fall MAP scores back, and also at that point, we'll probably get some peak scores back. We can take a look at our data and then make some decisions on how we want to move forward with some of our kiddos. And then the same with the April, we'll have some spring and hopefully preliminary MAP data where teachers can use to start looking at our summer school kiddos for next year's summer school and see how well our students have been doing and the type of progress that we've made. I think some of the teachers have already looked at their spring data reports, and most people have reported they're pretty happy with the growth and some of the growth that they've seen from some of the kiddos. Because when we met for summer school, they had some kiddos that were on the fence, and then when their MAP scores came back for the spring, some of those students dropped off the list because they had made tremendous progress. So those are the 3 days that we'd like to submit to the state for our waiver days and the reasons why.
And when do we find out that if it's approved or not? Do we know?
Usually we'll get something back in the summer, but I haven't submitted any of those. I haven't submitted my letter yet to the district and the state because we haven't gotten board approval for it.
So that's what we're doing if we like those dates and those topics. If someone
And
wants-
I was just, are these typically approved though? Wouldn't they?
Yes.
I mean, no, who's going to argue?
Oh, you
against-
mean by the state?
Yeah.
Sometimes the state can come back. I mean, the school has historically done these 3 days, and a lot of the times the waiver days are based on do we have enough instructional seat time, and so the dates are consistent with what we normally turn in for the times of the year, and then I can't imagine the state saying these are not good enough reasons.
Okay.
But we couldn't throw out junk reasons, I don't think, and have them not question it. They do look at them.
They do look at them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So do we need to make a motion for this to move forward?
Yep.
Okay, I'll make a motion then. I
Casey
make a
will
mo-
second. Sorry.
I make a motion that we approve these. Do we need to list them out?
I think you can just say the professional development days as presented.
Okay, I make a motion that we approve the professional development days as proposed by Deanne for 2022, 2021, 22.
And
I'll
Casey
second that.
All right, roll call vote. The motion on the table is to approve the professional development days as proposed by Deanne for the 2021-2022 school year. Mindy,
Yes.
Cheryl,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Casey,
Yes.
Paige,
Yes.
and mine is also a yes, so the motion passes. All right, next item is insurance, and the only update on that is you submitted the paperwork and we're waiting for the insurance broker to do their thing.
Yes, correct.
All right, the next item is the APB self-evaluation, which we haven't ever done before, but is highly recommended to do. Do we want to go through and do that now?
If we don't, what's our option? Like, we do it now,
We do it now, or schedule a special meeting just for that, or don't do. I don't know. Stop
You put it out there like there was an option, so I didn't know
Well,
what
if
that option was.
if we don't want to sit and go through it tonight, we could schedule a meeting just for that topic.
You could schedule a work session. The school
A work
board usually
session for
does a work
Oh,
session.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we could do that. Then we don't have to do this.
No, you don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
We want to do that, schedule a work session for it.
I'm good with that.
Okay.
Because couldn't we do that in person if we wanted to, and we don't have to record it, right? Because it's a work session.
That was the camera.
Well, technically
Paige
it's
just spelled it
still,
out though. Thank you.
It's still open to the public. We still have to notice it.
you still have to notice it
Well, sure, but we don't have to record it, right? Or do we?
no, you don't have to record it. I mean, you could sit at the picnic tables outside of the school, and if the public wanted to come and hang out in the parking lot, they could do that.
That's it.
On a
Pick up
nice.
tomorrow.
There'll be a long line of people.
No, not-
All right. Does anyone have a good date for that? Want to do?
Do we theoretically need to do it before the election is official? So that it's the current board as opposed to
So the
members?
seats run through June, so the election will be done, but the seat replacements don't take place until July.
Well, I would be good if we waited until after school got out because I'm really busy between now and school getting out.
I concur. It just cannot be between June 4th and June 13th if you want me to be a part of it, because I will be in Florida and I am not picking up my phone for anything.
Unless
What
Mickey Mouse calls.
day does summer school start?
June 1st.
So do we want to do it?
The last week of May.
That's what I was thinking.
That's fine with me. I mean, summer school's only in the morning, so I can do it, in the afternoon or the evening.
And Casey, when do you guys move?
Oh, end of July,
Oh, okay.
August. Yeah.
If you need me, I won't be here the last week of May.
Of course we need you, Cheryl.
I'd be happy to do it over the phone, but I will be in Washington on the coast. So I'll do it from the beach there.
What about the first week of June?
I'll be gone then, but again, I can do it on Zoom.
Anybody want to throw out a date? That's good.
Cheryl, when do you leave?
The 24th. Let me just double.
I mean, the first week of June, you have Memorial Day that weekend before. So, I mean, that day. So it's the 31st is a Monday, then Tuesday is the 1st, and so on.
I'm good with either the last week of May or the first week of June, but 1 week Cheryl won't be here, 1 week Paige won't be here. Once we
Whoever
start-
wants to call in more.
Mindy, how crazy is the 21st for you guys putting grades in? Is that pretty insane? Or are you guys usually done by then?
Oh, my report cards will be done by Monday.
So could we maybe do it the 21st, like while you guys are at school work on your in-service day? Or is that, I saw Deanne shaking her head. I wasn't sure if she was answering my question for me or if she was telling me, no, we're not doing it.
No, their grades are going to be all done by Monday, the 17th.
I usually
So,
wrote there, but I'm gonna.
So Friday, the 21st is not an in-service day. It's a teacher work day. It's their last day. So they can spend it however they choose. It's not principal directed. Except that we are having a little celebration for Molly, Janet, and Robin on that day.
I'm running to go look for my laptop charger real.
The 21st would be fine with me. I don't, usually I use that day to really pack up my room, but since I'll be using it for summer school, I won't be doing a lot of that, so.
Are we talking May 21st?
Like 2 Fridays.
Yeah.
What was that look, Casey? Does that not work for
Well,
you?
we're apparently we're hosting a community dinner, so I don't really have any details, but it's on my calendar at 6. So I mean, I could have a couple hours, maybe. I don't know how long we're talking.
I hope an hour or 2 at the most.
Okay, then we're good.
I hope.
Well, honestly, if it doesn't have to be done like right away, why couldn't we do it like the 15th or the 22nd of June when people are done with vacations?
Because that's when I'm going on vacation.
Oh, well, that would be why. Okay. Okay.
Man, everyone's going on vacation. I need a vacation.
Would you folks like to maybe check your calendars and email
Yeah, let's do that.
some days so that maybe by next week Wednesday's meeting, you could pick a day?
Let's do that.
And it might just be eeny, meeny, miny, mo who gets to join by the telephone.
Oh, you're a poet there, lady.
Just kidding.
All right. Are we all good with that? Emailing for a date? All right. On to new business, French toast uniform options. So I had a couple parents reach out to me and say, hey, they only have X amount of sizes in these. Are they just low on stock? So I reached out to their rep who emailed and said that they are discontinuing some of our items. Not sure when they were going to tell us, but hey. So one item is the kick pleat scooter.
Which makes me so sad because that's her favorite.
I know. And
but you know, the options that you sent were actually cute too. As long as they got the skirt under there, I'm good. What I don't like about the other skirts is they don't have the shorts underneath it. And
what I like about these though is that they're stretchy, and I don't think the other ones are. So that's been nice. But actually, what I'm really annoyed at is they are getting rid of this one, but they have that pull-on kick pleat one, which looks like the same thing, but less dressy looking. So why? And then the other one is the V-neck jumper and the boys' adjustable waist pleated double knee pant. And I think after she sent me the catalog after I asked for it, I think she failed to mention that our girls' flared pants are also discontinued and that they only have, they have these items in whatever sizes they have, but they're not manufacturing more of them. So the girls' flared pants, all they have now are straight leg pants, not like skinny, but just straight leg pant options. So we will need to replace or pick replacement items so that parents have an option for something to order. Historically, what we do is leave the old item still allowed in our uniform policy for people who already have the old ones, and usually still leave them in like our French toast school code box until French toast doesn't have any more. And then on the skort, because it says seasonal item, I asked her, the rep, what that means, and she said when they have new items, they don't make as many until they figure out what the demand is. So I was like, that's not a great option for a replacement. So something to keep in mind. They don't know how many they'll have and how long they would last.
Which one is seasonal then? Because what you put here, I don't see any of them saying seasonal.
The double button skort and the pull-on kick complete performance. If you go to the right in the little, it says seasonal item, shop early, arriving June 2021.
Oh, it's very blurry for me, so I couldn't read
Oh,
at all.
so it's not actually seasonal. They just say that until they figure out how many people are going to be ordering it, if it's something that they're going to keep making.
Vanessa, if you want to do a screen share, I made you a co-host
Oh, okay.
in case anyone doesn't have it up on their monitor.
Let's see. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes. Do they have any more details on them? Like we were talking about, the kick pleat has the elastic and it's stretchy in the back. Like, is there any way to check the others to see if they have that same elastic in the back? Because you can't see it in that picture of the kick pleat scooter, but we know it's there because we have it. But maybe the one,
I wonder.
new
If it
pull-on kick pleat performance skort. Like, I wonder if that one is going to be the most like the
I
kick
think
scooter, since
that
it's
the
got
kick
the
pleat
kick
one,
pleat
I think it is the same like material as the one that just is discontinuing, but I think just from the look of the other two, I think they're more like the other skirt material, so there's not really stretch to them.
Do you think that if we ask our whoever the French toast rep is, if since they're discontinuing some of our items, would they send us one of each item so we can look at it and see if it would match our uniform well?
You mean like the colors?
No, just like for style, just because like Paige said, you know, when you know that it has an elastic here or it has this characteristic, but ordering online, you can't always see all of those different things. Then those questions that she was asking, we would be able to look at it and say, this is really what it looks like. We like this or we don't, or this is a point that our families prefer as opposed to it doesn't matter.
I can ask.
I mean, you'd think that they would want to have us choose something that is going to be good for them. But I know that like their double button Ponte skirt. It has medium to extra large size. I have no idea what extra large would mean, and if that would equate with like 7 to 14 or 16 to 20, because we're already in some of those upper sizes for Joyce going into 5th grade. And
Yeah.
if we're going to be having 7th and 8th graders, we're going to need to make sure that whatever we choose is going to be able to continue on to the adulter sizes.
That's a really great point, because looking at the way those sizes are, that tells me that's like a youth extra large, not like an adult extra large. Whereas the full on kick pleat performance, it's got the little kid sizes, and then it starts over at 2 to 22, which tells me that's an adult size. I could be wrong, but that's what that tells me.
I just grabbed the 2-tab skirt from their website, but she sent me the catalog. So that one also is sized like the performance skirt. So it goes 2T to 16 to 20, and it also has plus and then adult 2 to 22.
And so some of those, I don't know if in the catalog it says like the length of it, but I prefer my children to have, my girls to have like a knee length skirt. So I would, and I think we have a length something in our policy that it should be this long. So knowing how long these are going to be roughly compared to our existing skirts would also be helpful. From the dress too, I guess.
Same with the dress. Okay, yeah, I can email her and ask. And then the other one was the jumper, the V-neck. Her suggested replacement was this round neck jumper. Their website has more jumpers, but the catalog she sent me only has the round neck jumper and a pleated hem jumper. And I don't know. Oh, that's another one that looks new. I guess it says seasonal items, so shop early, where the plaid jumper does not say that.
And I like the style of the round neck jumper, but it does look shorter than our V-neck jumper. So again, it's that length thing.
All right.
Knowing the sizes.
Ask her. And then the boys adjustable waist pleated pant. I don't think we need to pick a replacement, because I think that we did this 2 or 3 years ago, and we already have a flat front adjustable waist pleated double knee and another flat front pant option, and I don't think that they had any more like this. I think we just kept this in our catalog until they sold out of them. And then the other one, and I didn't put it on here because I didn't think of it until like late last night, was the girls' pants. They do not, in their catalog, they do not have the girls' flared pants, but I can ask her about that one. All they have are a straight leg twill pant, a straight leg pull on pant, and a slim stretch twill pant. My guess is we don't want the slim stretch twill pant because it's going to be probably more like leggings. They don't look like leggings, but I could ask what her recommended pant replacement would be out of those 2 pants.
If they
and the material of those as well.
If they look like leggings, do you think that it would be one that we could say would be acceptable to wear under skirts or dresses?
They don't look like leggings. They look like dress pants. I just think they're going to be like a jegging fit of pant versus our more relaxed fit pant. So I can ask her that too. And then those ones, the straight leg twill pant goes from 4 all the way up to the adult. And then the straight leg pull on pant goes from the 2T to the plus sizes with no adult sizes. But it does go to the 16 to 20. Okay. Do we want to add this to the special meeting for the principal contract to get it out of the way?
We need to have a decision before fall registration. Well, or
That
before
would be
academics are
preferable.
starting. So ideally, hopefully, if you hear back, why don't we plan to add it to the agenda, and then hopefully we can get some items, because we may not want to make a decision if she's going to send us some items, and if so,
Oh,
we
that's
may
true. Okay.
add
All right.
that. I
Just
don't know,
schedule
add that
another
to-
one.
Could we
All right.
add that to the work session meeting, or would that have to be it would have to be a special meeting?
Yeah. Will she send samples? All right. I will ask her those questions.
You could actually do it at a work session and then bring it to the regular meeting for a motion and a vote and a discussion. A motion, discussion, and a vote.
So we could look at, if we get samples, we could look at them in a work session. Yeah, but the vote and everything would be in a regular meeting.
Yes.
All right.
Which would be ideal because we would all be in person to actually touch them and see them instead of one person. Oh, look, I have no frame of reference because it's just on a computer screen.
Look, it is not stretchy. All right. Then what is next? Financial review is next. Hold on, I will unshare my screen. Wait, how do you do that? Did I unshare my screen? Oh my, okay, now I've unshared my screen.
So I attached the general ledger, and all of the additional sheets that I added on there were some of the drill downs that I thought you might be interested in if you had any questions on any particular items and the reasons why we might be close to zeroing out those line items or actually have exceeded them.
On your the transaction detail 2, what is the waste connection Eagle Academy? Is that a garbage dumpster?
That is our recycle. We have that, I think sometimes you might see it when we do pick up or drop off, that big, huge green trash container. That's a recycle. Every other week they come, and every other week we have a bin full of items. And those are all just paper items.
So you already bought the MacBooks with the CARES grant funds,
Yes.
but not the new Chrome cart?
Not the new Chrome cart because as you can see in the CARES Act fund, that the balance in there was roughly $2,300, and the actual Chrome cart's going to cost us about
$9,000, $10,000.
$9,000. So I'm going to wait till we can use the ESSER funds for that. Okay. And the remaining funds right now, we're looking at using that to replace a lot and get additional items for PE so that students don't actually have to share. So frisbees or hula hoops, things like that for PE, that we can minimize the amount of student contact with items. So we're going to use that to, the balance of that for some PE items.
how long are we going to have to do all of this crazy segregation type stuff? That's just crazy.
No one knows.
I know.
But,
like, I
but
need
the
to
good
think
news
about
is,
PE, that you have to have your
Right.
own basketball. You have to have your own frisbee in PE. That's just weird.
well, the nice thing is that it is going to allow us to beef up our equipment inventory and replace some of the things that are tattered and haggard, and then it doesn't come from our general funds.
Any more questions for Deanne? If not, does anyone want to make a motion to adjourn?
I will make a motion to adjourn.
I just had a quick, as far as due outs from us, so we need to provide dates for the work session.
Yes.
Okay, and you're checking on the uniforms.
Yes.
Okay.
I will second Mindy's motion.
All right, we are adjourned at 7:12.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.